Hello, welcome to Racing to Win. This is Hong Kong's twice weekly preview show. It is a big week in Hong Kong, and before we get to the big day on Sunday, we've got 9 races coming up at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Joined on the panel by Paul Lally and Tom Wood. And Tom, a little entree heading into Sunday, and Casper Founds 1 win away from notching up the 1,000.
Yeah, certainly, Mark. A little green salad as we head to Happy Valley on Wednesday night, and it's a pretty good card. Later on in the night, we've got some nice racing, including Packing Famous, also Dragon Pride, and Lucky Missile's been in some good form. He's actually shooting for 3 in a row as Lucky Missile.
Yeah, quite a few last start winners indeed, or even dual last start winners going around. That didn't make much sense. Horses have won their last 2 at least. Paul Lally, hello to you. And have we got any jackpots?
Yeah, we sort of knew what you meant. 1.3 million going into the triple trio, so decent jackpot there. So that's the only one we've got coming up for this race meeting. But as you say, it's quite even cards, quite an even card for it. The last race is a cracker as well. We'll see if Packing Award can carry on with it.
We will indeed, and that is one of the races that we are going to focus on Racing to Win. But firstly, the meeting details for Wednesday night. C course meeting 64 and 9 races with the first at 6:45. We're going to focus on races 7 and 9. 2 of the 3 Class 3s, the others being race 2. In fact, 2 of the 4 Class 3s, the other 2 being over 2,200 and 1,200 metres. Started off well today. Race number 7. And this over the 1,200 metres, Magic Phoenix has had a trial and won a trial since he failed on the yielding track last time. Scotch Tycoon, he carries an extra £7 for his last start win. Smart Idea, he goes up £10 for his last start win. Escape Route, he is going from the 1,000 to the 1,200. Exuberant has his first start since November. He's had a right hind stress injury. Sunset Watch wears the blinkers again, and Storm Trooper, he comes into Class 3 for the first time as we make our way across to the speed map here. Tom, good pace for race number 7.
Yeah, there certainly should be. Magic Phoenix won't be far off the pace, but good luck, Paul. We know he likes to lead. He is coming into this race fresh off in a regular heart rhythm. Happy Sharing and Yo Beauty on the next line. Yo Beauty actually went forward and was right up on the pace again last start from his draw of gate 4 this time round.
Yeah, he can be a little bit slow out as well, Yo Beauty, but look, he'll try and press on. You're right. Look, I don't think anything will be caught wide in the smallish field. Sunset Watch and Exuberant are horses that will generally get back. Scotch Tycoon's run some pretty good races when he's got back as well.
We're going to start with that horse right there. Smart Idea. Harry Bentley's had 5 rides on the horse for 3 wins, and via Zoom, Nick caught up with Harry earlier today.
Harry, Smart Idea has been a good pal of yours this season. You and he have got a good record and enhanced that last time out.
Yeah, that's right. He's been incredibly consistent horse this season, and I've been fortunate enough to partner him in 3 wins so far. So he's going from strength to strength and clearly thriving off things.
And obviously, just on that point you make, obviously the consistency. I mean, he never seems to run a bad race, this horse, whether he be drawn wide or inside. Or I think having a look back this season, Harry, he's not been beaten any further than about sort of 4 and a bit lengths, which in the grand scheme of things is not too bad at all.
No, that's right. I mean, as we all know, draw is vital at Happy Valley, especially over the 1,200 metres. But he always seems to put in a good show, and as I said before, he's clearly thriving off things recently, and he's in fine vessel.
Recent form obviously looks good, notably the win, but then when you delve a bit deeper, obviously the second was seizing the moment, the fourth was nothing new. So he does come into this race with some very solid form.
He does, yeah. I mean, last time I thought the race really panned out nicely for me. They went pretty hard in front, and unlike him, he was actually a little bit off the bridle down the back straight. But if you take him off the bridle early on, you know they're going pretty quick, and I was quite confident that they would come back to me. So yeah, turning for the home straight, I was quite confident that he was just going to pick them up in front, and that's exactly what he did.
I suppose the biggest impost, Harry, is the fact that the assessor hasn't missed him. He's got an extra £10. I mean, that's quite the burden, but he at least comes into this sort of on a forward trajectory.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, naturally the handicappers are going to put him up plenty for that victory, and the fact that he seems to be progressing each time. So, extra weight on his back is certainly something to consider, and he's going to have to take probably another step forward. But I still expect him to run a big race, even though he's got that extra weight.
Harry Bentley, rider of a Smart Idea. We move on, Paul, from him to a horse that I'm guessing you've got on top because he's been good to you in the past, and he is a very good horse in the making, Scotch Tycoon.
He's just a very progressive horse. He sort of shown it from day one that there was the ability there. He took a start or so to put it together, but look, the horse has done it. He's come down the outside. He's gone through to the inside here. Like, he's getting up through the grades, but he's still racing really well, and I think this is a winnable race for him.
Yeah, I agree. He's just a 3-year-old. He's done a really good job this season so far. As 5 starts for his 3 wins, we can see there on the screen, and he's been able to do it all basically at Happy Valley with just that 1 run at Sharton behind Galaxy Witness, who we know is unbeaten 3 from 3. But he's looked really progressive. They should be pretty proud of their achievements with him this season.
And that run at Sharton was on debut, and he looked like he was travelling as the winner at the 600-metre mark, but faded late. Since then, he's just gone on from strength to strength. What about Stormtrooper, Tom? He's been back to the trials and finished close up behind California Spangle. His last 2 both in Class 4 for 2 seconds.
Yeah, he was a bit keen in that barrier trial too. He was behind the speed. He kept on, as you mentioned, behind California Spangle. And he comes off the yielding track last start, like a number of runners do at this meeting. And look, he stayed on well enough behind Triple, who finally got his 3rd birthday there, or his 2nd birthday anyway. But he gets an opportunity again, I think, with the lightweight pool.
Yeah, look, he does. He's just up in grade. It's just whether he sort of come up in grade without winning. That was just a little query.
We head to the trials now, Paul. And being on a C course and a good draw, good luck is likely, as we saw on the speed map, going to be one of the leaders.
Yeah, he's going to be in the right place, isn't he? Good luck. Look, it was a nice enough trial here from him. Look, he hasn't won this season, but he's been racing reasonably well here at Happy Valley. Did win a couple of times last season. His last one was off 63, so he's just slightly higher in the ratings than he has been.
There he is next to Lucky Patch in a trial. He hasn't raced since the 5th of January. He's fresh, and he's got a terrible fresh record, so I'm happy to overlook him.
Exuberant Tom is a horse that we haven't seen for a while either. He has shown some ability during that previous stint. He's had a couple of trials up at Chung Fa, and he did win the last one.
Yeah, so he was lame back on the 10th of November. He's had a right hind stress injury, which was diagnosed after that when he was scratched. He was pushed out a little bit in this recent barrier trial after coming from the rear, Paul. I'm just going to watch first up again. He hasn't got a great first up record.
Yeah, I'm happy to watch him as well. I mean, his one did come at Happy Valley, but yeah, I'm happy to watch him fresh up here.
He's one of the Danny Shum runners. What about the others, Paul? He's got quite a big team in. That's page 1. Is there any on that page that you do think could be pretty hard to beat?
Yeah, I think Namjon Singh's is going to run a really good race. I think Rise Brethren can win. He's sort of found his mark here in Hong Kong. 2,200 metres looks ideal for him. And on the other page here, I also thought Backing Famous will have his chance. Garaita's another one coming in fresh.
He's got one going around earlier in the night as well. I think it's a chance in race number 4. That is Happy Soul, who was seen running on at the end of his most recent start. That was on debut.
Danny sitting on 36 winners for the season currently. You're a Scotch Tycoon man all along, Paul, and I'm guessing you are on Wednesday night too.
Yeah, I don't know what sort of price he's going to come up, but I think he can win again. This looks another winnable race, and the horse is very progressive. Look, I've always been a fan of Smart Idea as well, and he's won 2 of his last 4. Barrier number 5, he'll get his opportunity. Magic Phoenix win a really good race, I thought, 2 starts ago when he ran 3rd behind Lucky Swayness, and a strong form race. I just don't think he copped the track last time, so there was a clear excuse there. And one of the improvers, I thought, he's on this rating of 60, so he's actually eligible for a lower grade, is Happy Sharing, but from a low draw with a reasonably light weight, I thought he could be an improver as well. 2, 4, 1 and 10.
Yeah, same trio as Paul, 2, 1, 4 and 9 I've gone with. I think Scotch Tycoon will be tough to beat again. Magic Phoenix certainly didn't, I think, cop that track at all last time out. He's trialled well since he did win a trial. Number 4, Smart Idea. He stumbled at the start, but was able to mount that challenge in the straight and beat Seizing the Moment, who's been in good form. And the other one I threw in was Stormtrooper. He wasn't too far away, and he's trialled okay since. 2, 1, 4 and 9.
And that is the preview for race number 7. We are heading to a break here on Racing to Win. Back to have a look at race number 9, the last, right after this. And welcome back to Racing to Win as we preview Happy Valley on Wednesday night. We've seen race 7. Time to have a look now at the last race, number 9. It's the 1,650 metre Class 3, one of 4 Class 3s on the program. Tianchi Monster goes from the all-weather 1800 back to the Happy Valley 1650. Garitis, he has his first start since the Derby, as does Rocket Spade. His first start since running in all 3 legs of the 4-year-old series. Ode to Joy makes his Happy Valley debut. No trials here. Red Majesty carries an extra £3 for his last start win. Packing Award, he goes up £5 for his last start win. Total Power's a 3-time course and distance winner. California Sky won't mind the step up in trip from the 14 to the 1650. And Loyal Baby up in grade but has placed 6 from 6 course and distance. The speed for the last Tom, good to slow over the 1650.
It certainly doesn't look like it's going to be any great breakneck speed here with Red Majesty, no doubt trying to dictate like he has done already this season and been successful. Loyal Baby likes to go forward, got a bit keen last time out in the trail, so maybe just watch out for that if there's not too much speed, Paul. It looks tricky for Rocket Spade. What do they do with him?
That's the $64,000 question, isn't it? They went forward in the Derby, but they didn't go forward initially. They sort of went, took a while, and then they went forward in the previous races. They've gone back. I mean, obviously it didn't go well for them when they went forward last time. So maybe they try and slot in midfield. It's one of those ones. I think Mark's enjoying that, but where he's going to end up. But yeah, that's the big query, I think.
No wonder Andrew doesn't let me play with the touchscreen. All right, Red Majesty is a horse that is absolutely flying. 7 times he's won course and distance. David Hayes has put the polish on him again this week, and this is what he told Nick to see if he can make it 8 over the 1650.
David, Red Majesty will line up again on Wednesday night. A horse who's coming into this race in superb form.
Yes, he's won 7 races and most of them in the last 12 months. So he's been a great horse, very good at Happy Valley, very good at a mile. It's amazing he took 9 races to run a place. So he took his time to settle in. But once we worked out that he likes the Valley, his Valley form has been very consistent.
Is that what it was, David? The fact that he was looking perhaps more for Happy Valley against Sha Tin? Or what is it that's clicked with this horse?
He's a horse that fills the ground at Sha Tin. He doesn't give us his last 10%. And at Happy Valley, the conditions are often that little bit more softer or marginal or forgiving. And he gives us what he's got there. Like, he's very courageous at Happy Valley.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to obviously what you said, you know, in the last 12 months, so 28th of April last year, he won off a mark of 30. He's now running off a 73 and 7 wins in that time. I mean, he's a horse that his owners must absolutely adore.
Yeah, they're really fond of him. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to see much of him because since he hit form, he's pretty well been in lockdown and he's been racing on his own, but not too long and they'll be back being able to see him.
Just on a recent trial as well, David, obviously you've engaged Jerry Chow, I guess, obviously to offset the rise in weight. How pleased were you with the recent trial? Just a nice, easy one for him?
It was a nice, easy one, but through the line, he was going as well as some very well-credentialed horses. So there's no doubt he's in great form. There's a horse in the race that I've got a lot of respect for. I used to train called Packing Award. I would have said that he's a little bit better class than Red Majesty. So he's got a good gait and I'm a bit worried about that.
I guess what you have got in your horse, though, is a tough as teak galloper who just loves racing. So he'll certainly give his best, I'm sure.
Yeah, he'll make his own luck and roll forward and he'll give a kick on the bend and whether he's good enough.
They are David Hayes' thoughts on Red Majesty. We'll find out now Paul and Tom's thoughts. And Tom, we go back to this win by him. This was on the 16th of March. And there he is up outside of the speed. The other horse in this race is Tianchi Monster down there on the rail. He's had a start since on the all-weather. What a good push from David for Packing Award there, so I guess you have to be wary of him. But what about Red Majesty's chances?
Yeah, well, he was up outside the leader last time out. If he's not there, he likes to be leading, and look, he fought hard to win on this occasion over everyone's delight. You would have seen in the trial there, he jumped a little bit awkwardly, but he was staying on well enough there at the end. But he's had a great season, Paul, 4 wins so far.
You know, definitely. Look, he's had 4 wins this season. They've been a short head, a nose, a head and a nose. So, neck, I should say. So those 4... He does fight and he just does enough to win. So he doesn't rocket up the handicap as such. He just does a little bit. So, look, I think he's definitely a chance. I haven't got him on top, but I think he'll run well once again.
He, of course, got all the way down into Class 5, did Red Majesty. He's now in Class 3 and winning in Class 3. Here is the horse that David mentioned that he used to train, Packing Award. That is him there. Terrific record over the 1650. We've also got Gift of Lifeline in this race and Total Power there, Paul. He went to Sha Tin following this, was quite well supported and ran second behind Precise Express. But is Packing Award the horse to beat?
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, the key for him was stepping up in trip. I mean, when David had him, he got him up to 1,400 metres and he won. He's then gone to Peter Ho. Peter's run him twice over the 1,200, stepped him up in trip again, and he's just unbeaten off the 1650. So, look, I think he can win again.
And his win 2 runs ago, he covered so much ground in that race too, didn't he, Packing Award? So he's going well, and he wound up strongly last start for an easy win.
Dr. Winning, Zach Perkin gets aboard this week, Tom, for John Size. There he is. He'll carry likely 120 pounds in the race, but a very consistent horse at the same time.
Yeah, so interesting. Zach's trying to get down to the weight that he'll carry here. He is carded for 117, maybe a little question mark there for 119 potentially, but he's been pretty honest. He was at the rear, and I thought he closed off late here behind Prime Minister, who was a good winner there. So I think he gets his opportunity. He's been relatively consistent again this season, Paul.
Yeah, no, he goes in for me as well. He's just a 2-time winner from his 12 starts, but he has got a lot of placings peppered around those.
Loyal Baby, Paul. Now, he's still a maiden, but he's raced really well over the 1650. He's done everything course and distance other than win a race. He comes up in grade this week.
Yeah, so look, he's another one of these horses that comes up in grade without winning. He's consistent, but look, he's hard to have here in Class 3. When he did come here, he did arrive on a rating of 68. He had 6 runs in Class 3, and the best he could do was a 7th.
And he was knocked off here by a couple of swoopers down the outside. He had all the favours on the rail. He's been a costly conveyance, though. He's been beaten favourite 4 of his last 5 starts, all around 2.4, sort of 2.8, 2.6. Has won a recent trial, but in that trial he did get a little keen in the trail, and he got keen last start in the trail too.
And Villafion and HK Dragon, the 2 horses have got him out wide of both won since. Now, Rocket Spade, Tom, he went forward in the Derby. That didn't work. He's trialled since and gone back. What did you make of that trial? Yeah,
well, as Paul mentioned before on the speed map, they went forward in the Derby, probably not as early as anticipated, and I think the writing was on the wall there with what he'd done in his trial prior, but he's stretched nicely here in the trial, Paul, over the 1,600 metres to win by 2.5 lengths, but he seems to be at a bit of a crossroads now, Rocket Spade.
Yeah, I think that the thing with him is they'll try and slot in midfield. I think that'll be if they can get that opportunity, and it might sort of pop up for them, that would be his best opportunity, I think, is to try and slot in their midfield, not be too far away from the pace. The horse brought some really good form from New Zealand, he just hasn't shown it here.
Let's have a look, Paul, at what the Derby runners have done so far. There's only been 4 of them have a start.
Yeah, so it's still pretty early to tell, isn't it? I mean, Money Catch has run 3rd and I'm a single man, the best of the 4. So, look, we haven't seen the main protagonists that came out of the Derby run yet either. So, Money Catch has probably done the best of those.
No, we'll get a few more clues with a couple of the big guns out of the Derby. Of course, the 1 and 2 going around on FWD Champions Day. Money Catcher there, of course, the best of them as a beaten favourite. He'd still have to go down as disappointing, however.
All right, so there's a few more coming out of the Derby that run throughout the meeting at Happy Valley on Wednesday night as well. So those numbers will continue on the Big 2 run on Sunday. All right, Paul, selections for race number 9, please.
I think Packing Award is a little bit classier than this field, so I think he can go on and win once again. So he's on top. Red Majesty will fight from the front. California Sky coming up in trip, I think is a good thing for him. And Dr. Winning's been consistent. So ended up with 6, 5, 10 and 9.
I'll go 9, 11, 5 and 6 here with the Dr. Winning for Zach Perton, a lightweight on his back here. He's been honest, just a 2-time winner, but both of those have been this season here from his 12 start. I think he gets another chance again, does Dr. Winning. Loyal Baby up in grade. He doesn't have a great record on the grade, but in much recent times he's been very consistent, so he gets a chance. Recent trial winner. Red Majesty to be up at the head of affairs, no doubt, trying to steady them there and run the race to suit, and Packing Award to cover a lot of ground 2 back to win, and was good last to start, wound up strongly to win. So 9, 11, 5 and 6.
We have seen race 7. We've now seen race number 9 here on Racing to Win, but there are 7 other races throughout the program on Wednesday night, Paul, and who are some of those 7 winners?
Well, I do like a horse earlier in the card, Rising from Ashes. Now, this horse ran really nicely behind Lucky Swayness. He seems to be an improver. He's only a little chap. He's only a small horse, but I think he can run quite well. Co-partner Era, I think, has been consistent. He can go nicely earlier on. He's in actually an earlier race, in race number 2. Handsome Guys has won 2 trials trials recently. He'd be a big price, but I think he's a bit of an improver as well. Rise Brethren, the 2200 metres looks ideal for him. He did come here originally for the Derby, but he's a last start winner. We've talked about Scotch Tycoon. A horse called Blissful Star I thought could run pretty well as well. He's a horse who's stepping up. He's by power and he's stepping up to 1650, and he's been very consistent. So I thought he's a bit of a chance as well.
And he switches back from the all-weather to the turf on Wednesday night too, does Blissful Star. You can see a breakdown in each and every one of those races on the website hkjc.com. Click on audio and video for a race-by-race analysis. Your best bet, please, Paul.
So I've left the best out of those ones because I thought I'd highlight him here, and that's number 10, Gorgeous Vitality. 2 really good runs at his last 2 starts. And race 4, number 8, Handsome Guys. He's the horse I just mentioned. He's won 2 trials recently, so I think he's a big improver. But we'll do the play in race 5 with Lucky Gore, Vamos and Gorgeous Vitality at QQP.
Righto, the best comes up earlier on in the program. It is race number 3, and it is horse number 1, You're My Everything, for Tony Cruz and Joe Moreira. 2 recent trials coming in. It has been fresh, and of course it was a strong winner on debut here in Hong Kong. The value in the 4th race with Happy Soul stepping up to 1200, I think will suit. Cheek pieces are going on. Really rallied late in that recent effort, and there's the play on screen as well. So the best, race 3, number 1, You're My Everything.
Going to stick with the favourite Stormtrooper. He comes up in grade. He's run second at his last 2. He's quite often good odds. His trial was okay behind California Spangle. Hopefully he settles a little better than what he did in the trial. We'll go the long shot race 1, number 4, Owner Star. He's drawn 12 and he's only 2 starts in Class 5. And the play back with Stormtrooper, also Magic Phoenix and Scotch Tycoon in a QQP. That has just about been racing to win for Wednesday night, Tom, and then Sunday. It's the big show, the Derby winner, the Derby runner-up, Golden 60s. They're all the big names are there.
Yeah, they're all there. The sprint, the cup, and of course the mile, Paul, the Champions Mile on FWD Champions Day. It'll be a fantastic afternoon.
Looking forward to that. It'll get the juices flowing for sure. So it should be a really good race meeting.
Before we get there, of course, we're off to Happy Valley on Wednesday night. We've just seen the preview. That has been Racing to Win. We'll see you for race 1 on Wednesday night at 6:45. Bye-bye.